back to Unicorn Dust Designs. My name is Sammy. If you are new to my channel, we do DIYs, wood signs, upcycles, and there's always tons of laughter. So if that's something you think you would be interested in, then keep on watching. Okay, you guys, we are gonna do 2 wood rounds today. I'm doing 2 because I want one for my home, and then I need to replace the ones that have sold out of my booth. So I'm just going to show you like the staining step for one of them, and then I'll show you how I lay the graphics and the whatever I put up here. Now this gets asked all the time. I get my wood rounds from Home Depot. They are the cheapest, and that's only when they're in stock. If they're not in stock, I simply don't buy them. I personally do not like the thin wood rounds. So I wait until they come back in stock. And when they do, I will buy like 5 or 6, depending on what ideas I have going on. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and start off by staining these. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my microfiber cloth into some little squares. You could get these at Walmart, you could get them on bulk at Amazon, doesn't matter. I am going to use dark walnut for one and Jacobean for the other. I will give you a side-by-side so you can see the difference. When staining, I always go with the grain of the wood for the most part. Now, the trick is don't oversaturate your wood. That is going to take it forever to dry. Just dip your microfiber cloth in there, spread it around. It like is getting, pushed into that wood. The wood's absorbing it. So I'm going to go ahead and do the front. You're going to do the back, and then you are also going to do the sides. Now, I like to keep my wood I like to dry mine overnight. So I try to at least give it 24 hours to dry before I move on to painting my design on here. So make sure too, I did pre-sand this. I sanded it with 80 grit sandpaper and then 220. It should be like buttery soft, y'all. Like you should be able to run your hand over it and it should be soft. So now I'm taking my decal that I made with my Cricut, and right here, I want the I hope you brought underneath the tape line. This is the part that I want painted. So I'm just kind of trying to eyeball where I need to put my tape at this point. And now we're going to move on to paints. And right here, I am using Pumpkin by Waverly. I am using my mini roller. You guys see me use this all the time in my wood round videos. It's my favorite. And we are going to do 2 coats of this paint. Now, make sure you let it dry in between coats. Then our favorite part right here, y'all, is taking that painter's tape off and seeing that amazing crisp line. Oh my goodness. Look at how gorgeous that is. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second one. This is going to be the one that I will be keeping for myself. So I'm using my 233 plus Scotch Painter's tape. Again, all of the supplies will be listed down in my description box. I am making sure it's adhered to the wood very well. Then I'm going to take, this is Apothecary from DIY Paint. I get it from upcycledbybrie.com. I will leave her link down below. So at first I thought it only needed 1 coat because as I'm applying it and then as I dry it, it shows a little bit of the wood grain. And y'all know I love my wood grain. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. Well, I wish I would have put 2 coats on it. So just put it out there. If you do have DIY paint, just go for the 2 coats, not 1. It is full coverage, but like, see how beautiful it was looking? I was like, yes, this is looking good. But once it like settled in, it kind of looked more blotchy than anything. So I wish I would have put 2 coats on it. And you see how this dries down. This color is so stunning. It's so matte. I love it. Okay, so after that's done drying, the favorite part. Okay. So on the left we have Jacobean. On the right we have dark walnut. Now for me, Jacobean has more of, I want to say, I don't think it's an undertone, but black undertone. And then dark walnut has more of a red undertone. So I like using Jacobean more than dark walnut, to be honest. All right. So now I'm going to get my linen white by Rust-Oleum. This is like my tried and true, so
I'll probably never step away from it. I know it works, so that's what I go with. Now I'm going to take my stencil. I made this with Aura Mask 813 stencil vinyl, and then I am using vinyl ease for my transfer tape. Sorry. And again, all of this on my Amazon store link down in the description box. So I'm going to go ahead and play around with placement. Sorry, I always feel the need to stand when I'm making these. So that's why my head's going to be in here quite often. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to play around with placement first. Then I'm going to smooth that on down very, very well. Get my scraper, whatever these things are called. And then I'm going to peel back my vinyl ease. Make sure all of that's adhered to my wood. Now, when I am applying this white, you guys, the most important thing is you should not be putting any pressure on this roller whatsoever. It's almost like I'm hovering it above the wood. I am not applying any pressure at all. The more pressure you put, the more chances you are of pushing that paint under your vinyl. So I'm going to dry this in between coats with cold air. And then we're going to take our stencil vinyl off. So as you're pulling this off, I have my chippy brush set to the side because any of those little flakes that come off from the chalk paint, if you happen to smear that, y'all, it's like smearing paint. It ain't gonna come off. So I'm gonna go ahead and weed everything out, and then we are going to move on to the other wood round. And for this one, I put Hey There Pumpkin. I will try to remember to leave all of the fonts. These are Cricut fonts down in the description box. And again, I'm using just the vinyl ease, same transfer tape, all of that good stuff. So we're going to remove it, and then we are going to paint it. Now, people always ask me why I use chalk paint. Seriously, I have tried every single paint. This is just what works for me, what I find less bleeds with. And if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So I just do my thing with chalk paint all the time. This is my first time using DIY paint on this though, and I really like it. So again, I'm going to take that roller. I just got this roller. It's like a mini roller from Menards. And I'm going to apply my white paint. I do 2 coats with my white paint because obviously there's 2 different colors going on, a dark wood and then this light green. So in order to make the match, I need 2 layers of this white paint so that it looks like it's the same color. So again, we're going to dry that in between coats. I'll do my second layer. So, and then I have a multi-temp heat gun that goes cold. My girlfriend bought it for me and it's absolutely amazing. You don't want to apply heat to your chalk paint because it will crackle the jug paint. All right, so after we're all done with this, I am now going to clear it. So I tried this. This is actually for like furniture, so you don't leave streaks when you're clearing it. But I don't know if it's because this is Helmsman, and Helmsman is thicker than polyacrylic. But no. It looks good right here, looking at it, but it was like it was grabbing onto it and it felt gummy. So I just went back to my tried and true, just chippy brush. I'm applying the Helmsman. This is water-based Helmsman. Water-based, okay? If you use oil-based, it is going to turn all of that white yellow. So water-based Helmsman, the sign's going outside. You want to protect it from the elements. Polyacrylic is not going to do that. Polyacrylic is for indoor use. Read the cans, you will see. So I do a coat in the front, coat on the sides, coat on the back. You are going to do 2 coats, 3, depending on what kind of weather you live in, or if this is going to be like directly out in the elements. For me, we do have an overhang and we do have a storm door. I would probably, if you didn't have either of those, put at least 3 coats of Helmsman on to protect the sign. For me, I am all about, if I'm going to like ask $55 for a wood sign, then I want these wood signs to last my customers years from now. That's a lot of money and I want it to last. So after these dry, after we do the 2 coats, we're then going to do D-hooks. Again, sorry about my big head, but these are D-hooks again in my Amazon store. Now I've come to the point where I could kind of just eyeball it, but it's usually about like 3 inches down and like 2 inches in on each side. But again, you guys can eyeball that. It doesn't have to be an exact. Now I'm taking the wired jute cord. This is from Dollar Tree, you guys, and it's my new favorite. I used to use burlap ribbon. Nah, this is my favorite now. So after I'm done with that, we are gonna go ahead and accessorize. So I'm taking, I don't know why, I was totally feeling the black and white ribbon. I did it for both of them. These are going to be 19-inch strips. At first I start with 3. I don't think I use all 3 of them. Maybe I do. I think I do. I don't know. All right. No, I only use 2. Okay. So 19-inch strips. I hot glue all of the ends together. You will also cut a about 5 to 6-inch strip, and that's going to be what's going to essentially be our middle. You can see right here. Now I'm taking this burlap. That's going to kind of be like the tail of our bow, and you'll see what I'm talking about. So at first I play around with it. I thought I wanted 3 of them, and then I was like, nah, nope, not feeling that. So I end up taking the middle one out. You'll see right here. See how like the back, I loved that burlap back there. It looks so cute. Okay, so now we're just gonna do 2 strips here. We're going to take that burlap in the back, this one, and then we just take a zip tie. I'm gonna take my little, well, now I'm gonna make it my 6-inch strip, and you essentially make like a cylinder out of it. This is what's gonna be the middle part of our bow. And I have found, especially lately, that the less I put, like the less I accessorize it, the better they sell. And I don't know if that's because it becomes more personalized when you're using greenery and stuff like that. But the wood rounds that I've been selling lately are like minimal. So then I take my heavy duty Velcro. I'm going to place that on the back. Now, a lot of people have asked, like, doesn't that fall off? This and that. No, I have had the Stay a While wood rounds on my door since I made it, and have had no issues in the Kansas heat. I also like to have the option that if I'm going to put this sign and I'm going to spend the money and I want it till next year, what if I'm like not feeling this vibe next year for this bow? I want to be able to change that out. So that is why I've started using the bow the Velcro instead of E6000. So to be honest, you guys, I record from my phone, and my phone's storage ran out, so you're not going to see the entire thing of this one, but I just wanted to give you the idea and share a little bit of information. So at first I go with this one, don't like it. Then I get the lamb's ear and these velvet pumpkins from Dollar Tree, which look gorgeous. I cut the stems down just a little bit, and then I take some floral wire and actually like connect them together just so I could keep the placement exactly as I want it. And then I form my bow, put my zip tie on, and stick these through the back. I will leave other wood round videos so you can see what I'm talking about, but it just makes it so easy. So this is how the wood rounds turned out, you guys. I hope you enjoyed them. I hope they inspired you, gave you maybe some ideas on what you can make for fall for yourself, or if you sell wood rounds as well. Or if you are new into wood rounds, welcome. They become very addicted. This one I'm going to keep for myself. It totally matches our vibe. Not really the bow, but I don't know. I couldn't help myself with these black and white bows today. So I hope you enjoyed the wood rounds, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of this video. Let's keep going.
All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed those wood rounds. I know that there are a lot of you that watch my channel because of the wood rounds and the wood signs. So I really hope that you enjoyed that. I hope it gave you some ideas on maybe how you can create your own wood rounds for fall. And I also wanted to point out the fact that even though these might be wood rounds, if you're more of one of my Dollar Tree DIYers, all of these wood DIYs can be transitioned with using Dollar Tree items. Example, the wood rounds you can make with the round MDF signs from Dollar Tree. The same thing with, what other one did I do? The fall sign. You can easily take a long sign from Dollar Tree and then do the same exact things that I did. So just because it's wood doesn't mean you can't try it yourself. All of the information will be, like, for products and stuff, will be in my description box. Also check out my Amazon link. I think I'm talking way too fast. Okay. Check out my Amazon link down in the description box if you're curious about any of the supplies I use in my videos, because they are linked there. And then also make sure you are following me on Instagram. And you guys, with that said, let's go ahead and get into the last two wood sign projects. I hope you guys all have a good week, and y'all know the drill. If you're digging me, if you're digging the channel, if you are digging the DIYs, then make sure you like and make sure you subscribe, and I appreciate you all very much.
Okay, so this next one, I did like a Cricut project on it, and I didn't end up liking it. So I sanded the image off, and now I am taking Cake Batter by DIY. And you guys, you're probably thinking like, ew, this is like vanilla pudding meets like pistachio pudding meets bleh. But I promise, keep watching, because this color turns out like bomb. Promise, okay? It turns into like this buttery, like, color. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and take my chip brush. I put this all over my distress sign. I do have the video where I actually made this wood sign, so I'll try and remember to attach it. Now look, as these DIY paints dry, they're clay based. Look at how beautiful this yellow is. Like, it is perfection for fall. It dries down so beautifully. I love it. So after this, you guys, I'm somebody, if I don't have something like drop cloth, I will scour my house and find things to make. Like, I found this pillowcase from last year. It was all stained up. I knew I wasn't going to be able to use it this year. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this. I'm not going to go out and buy drop cloth for this one project and not know if I'm going to use the remainder of it. So I take this pillowcase. I'm going to cut these seams off of it basically, because I'm thinking, you know what, I could use the printed side too for something. So I save that side, and then I cut the back out of it. Now I'm going to put it onto this wood sign. I'm going to tuck the bottom down, and then my vision is, of course, wrapping it around the back, and then I want to roll the top down. So I don't want to cut everything off of it, but I'm just sizing it up here. I'm going to cut the top off. Then I am going to then roll the top down to where I want it. I'll bend that fabric back behind my wood, and then I'm going to get my staple gun. I'm pretty sure this is so thin, you could use a regular stapler too. And I am just going to pull that very tight just on the one side. So on the one side first, don't do the other side yet. Because then I'm like, I need to make sure that this bottom part is secured. So if you stick florals through it, you don't got florals sticking through the bottom of that. So I get my Star Bond, and I do just go ahead and run it down. Make sure that's secured. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring it around the back again, hold it tight, and staple those down. Now you guys, I can't wait to show you this. I cut the excess off. I save all of that too. But I am going to finally try the IOD, Iron Orchid design stamps. So they sent me these, and oh my gosh, if you don't have a vinyl cutting machine, you guys need these. I have a vinyl cutting machine, and I need these in my life. Okay, so like I said, IOD stamps. So these are the letters. I have them stuck on, this is actually a cutting mat from Dollar Tree. And I'm going to spell out the word fall. I'll show you how like I place them and everything. But I put the ink on there, and you'll see. I just put them, turn it over. I press them down. And you guys, this turns out so good. Like, so flawless. I was pretty shook. So I'm going to show you now. So I am going to do harvest on the bottom. So they actually make like a sheet for this. I didn't have the sheet, so I was using this cutting mat. So you can see I'm using my measuring mat in the background, this cutting board from Dollar Tree, and that way I get my letters in a straight line. I'm just taking them off, and I'm putting the stamps on there. And then I'm going to pat my ink, make sure it's nice and covered, and make sure it's mirrored image. So you're spelling it backwards essentially. Then I flip it over and rub it on there. And you guys, this just comes out so clean and crisp. Look at that. It's beautiful. And then I go ahead and I put some darker fall florals in here. I thought it looked really good against that yellow, the cake batter. And this is how it turns out. I love it. I don't know what y'all think about this, but I really love it. And I like that I was able to take something that I wasn't in love with and then turn it into something I am in love with. And these IOD stamps are amazing. I'll leave the link to their website where you can find a IOD vendor in your area to order these. All right. So this one, all I'm doing is using the remnants of that pillowcase that we just cut up. And I'm cutting it in, these are about like 4 inches high or so. And then I'm going to take one of my weeding tools. You guys, I know there's an easier way to fray stuff. Please comment down below. I had it in my head and it was driving me nuts because I was like, I feel like there's an easier way to do this than me like picking at the sides with my weeding tool. So please comment down below. So now taking some other IOD stamps, I cut a little square out of one of my Dollar Tree cutting mats. I ink up my stamp. Look at how good that looks. Oh my gosh. I want to use these on everything. I want to use them on wood signs. I think they're so much fun. They're so easy to use. And y'all, you get to reuse these over and over and over again. Yes, if you don't have a vinyl machine, even if you do have a vinyl machine, the nice thing about these is like you're not wasting vinyl. Like you can, I don't know. I love them. I love them. I'm spelling out fall here just in case you didn't know. And now I'm taking this scrap piece of wood. It happened to actually, this is the color of the wood, this orange. Like, hello, perfection. I just cut it down to size. Again, I put that star bond on the back of the fabric. Then taking these upholstery pins, I cut the tips of them off because they were too long for the piece of wood they would have went through. So again, taking whatever I had around me, I couldn't find my hammer. But then it turns out, look at who shows up with the hammer. Oh, thanks, honey. Little too late. I'm on the last one, but you know, he helped me hold it down, so I guess it was okay. All right, so now I'm going to take some twine, tie that up in a knot, wrap it around, and then I thought about adding florals, but I really liked the rustic simplicity of it, so I added a sawtooth hanger to the back, some more twine on the bottom, and that was it for this simple DIY. We used scrap wood, scrap pillowcase, twine, and our IOD stamps, and I think this is a really, really cool piece. I think it's rustic. I love that you can prop it up against something. So you guys, I hope you enjoyed these. I hope it gave you some inspiration for that wood that you have laying around or some wood rounds. I hope you have a good one, and I will see you again on Thursday.
I need to shave my legs. Okay. What's this? Like, hey. Hey, welcome to the party. No, that wasn't a good one. Okay. No. Just leave it alone. Just put it in the bag, leave it alone. Hey there.